Call the meeting to order.
Jenkins?
Here.
Harden?
Yes.
Hahn?
Here.
Testory?
Yes.
Kelly?
Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing on this evening's agenda is the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second it.
Call it.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Hahn?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Testory?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Brings us to section 2, unfinished business.
I make a motion to remove from table ordinance 966, authorizing the city manager to issue a purchase order for a 2016 International bucket truck.
I'll second that.
Call it.
Hahn?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Testory?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 966, authorizing the city manager to issue a purchase order for a 2016 International bucket truck.
I'll second it.
Call it.
Harden?
No.
Kelly?
No.
Testory?
No.
Jenkins?
No.
Hahn?
Nope.
Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to remove from table resolution 2016-15, approving agreement with Blue Ridge School District pertaining to the student resource officer, April 20, 2016 to June 5th, 2017.
I'll second it.
Discussion and officer, they actually hear this evening, and we appreciate the time she's given. So there was a sheet, and I've set the sheet aside somewhere. Kind of bullet points. There we go. So I guess the first thing we'll do is there any discussion?
Yeah, I put together a list of questions because I don't know what an SRO officer actually does.
Okay.
And
Hi.
Can I, gentlemen, if you've never met her, this is Officer Laura Davis. She is our school resource officer, so she's been formally introduced.
okay. I put this list of questions together, and they're not derogatory, but they may come across that way. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What does an SRO officer do?
It's a good question. There's basically three parts of an SRO. One is being the police officer in the school. One is kind of being a sort of a teacher, going in and giving presentations. And the third part is kind of being an informal counselor, so being there on top of the actual counselor and helping guide students with questions, maybe problems they're having at home that maybe a police officer might be able to help more with than a counselor.
Okay. That doesn't violate the rights to privacy of the student and all that kind of sort of thing?
No.
And the contract says you can't discipline a student, so how do you differ from a teacher?
Well, in the
or
sense...
a good principal?
Right. In the sense I can't give them a school discipline. I can't give them the detentions. I can obviously talk with the teachers if they do something. If I've witnessed something, I can talk to them and they do get disciplined that way, or the principal. I do help the principals when there are school violations and kind of helping them and guiding them and on what kind of depends on the situation obviously, and what they violated or what they did and what kind of discipline they should have at the school level. So I can't necessarily write the detentions or suspensions or anything like that, but I kind of help the principals and teachers with that.
Okay. Now initially we thought that the school was covering your whole salary, but it turns out to cover it in half.
Okay.
So what do you do outside the school that we're paying for? Are you completely within the school, or do you help outside the school?
I kind of help out with both. I mean, I'm mostly at the school. I do 3 days a week at the school since it is a part-time position. So I do 1 day typically each of the schools, all 3 schools. But when there's community events, such like the Christmas parade and things like that, I'm here as a police officer helping just like the other patrol officers are.
Will you be out here for Heritage Days?
This year, unfortunately, I cannot due to my children and scheduling.
Okay. Now, with our juvenile incidents we got going on, is there anything that you do that helps prevent for future occurrences of those natures?
How do you mean?
Well, I guess we got kids that run around town vandalizing things and doing certain things, getting in trouble. Is there anything as an SRO officer that you do that helps prevent that? Can you work with Andy and the other patrolmen?
Yeah, I'm always working with them. I always meet with them after, before or after my shift. When I come in at the school, they tell me what's been going on in town. And then if I know what's going on at the school, sometimes I hear things the students are saying, especially at the high school, you hear a lot that's going on. I can talk to the students, the ones that I have built a relationship with, that kind of, hey, I heard this was going on, what can you tell me? And then I kind of relay that back to the patrol officers.
Okay. There was something I seen in the contract about the SRO not engaged in law enforcement activities in Piatt County. Why is that?
That's just agreement we have with the Piatt County Sheriff. That I will be there, and if there's an emergency, I obviously act upon that. But if it's something that requires a police report or an arrest, then we just call Piatt County and they come out and handle that.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess in other small communities, they build a relationship by getting their entire police force involved in student over using an SRO officer. I was kind of curious, in your opinion, what makes the SRO officer more valuable than getting the entire police force involved?
So you're asking, I'm sorry, rephrase the question.
I'm sorry. This is something that came up with. Other small communities have the entire police force interacting, positive visual presence and involvement with the community. Why does Blue Ridge need an SRO?
It gets it more of a personal level.
I know the metro schools use SROs.
Right.
But they're big and impersonal.
Right. And in our situation, the guy that works maybe midnights is not going to see the kids as much as someone that works during the day or even in the evening. Me being in the school gives them more of a personal relationship. I can build a rapport with those students, and then I can bring that to them and introduce them, which is I have done on the list. You'll see that we did some ALICE training in the fall, and again just in April, and I involved the entire police department with them in introducing the teachers to every officer so they knew who they were and things like that.
What is ALICE training?
ALICE training, that's active shooter training for the school. So what to do if there was an active shooter situation.
Alright, this is the last question.
Okay.
If Andy could give you the same hours on the street as you get in the school, would you rather be at the school or on the street?
I think I'd rather be in the school because I'm dealing more with the kids and it's a more personal level. I get to interact with them. It's not just being in your squad car and responding to calls and making traffic stops and things like that. I'm actually having a close relationship with them. I go in and do presentations and stuff like internet safety, bullying, which is a big issue, and for the little ones like stranger danger and things like that. I like having that relationship with the kids.
Okay. Well, I was kind of on the fence about it. It sounds like it's a good program and that you really enjoy it.
Yeah, I do.
Alright.
Other questions?
Well, I just have a comment, and thanks for asking those questions. There's a few things I learned there. So now I have small kids, and I take them to and from school a lot, and so I get to see Officer Davis quite a bit, and I ask my kids about her, and I've gotten a good report there too. So I think it's a good program, and also having her there a lot of times before we had the SRO officer, one of our officers was there, and the chief was there in the mornings, things like that, doing some stuff anyway. So this prevents some of that overlap too. So I think it's a good program.
I agree.
Continue.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion points? I just had a follow-up question on one. You said you don't actually do the discipline in school.
Right.
However, I'm assuming there's a difference between discipline and a legal issue. So if you're conducting a K-9 search and you find drugs on in the student's locker, is that a discipline issue or does that become a legal issue?
That would depend. We don't have the K-9 unit usually when I organize it, I do it with DeWitt County
Okay.
or Pike County if it's over there in Mansfield. So nothing has been found as of yet, which is great, but if it came up that something were to be found, the school would have their own action, and then there would be the legal action.
Okay, so then you would, at
Right.
that time, there would be,
Yes.
there's a legal.
Yeah, and then there are other situations where there's been crimes committed, where there's school discipline plus I have a report and there's legal.
Very good. I agree with these gentlemen. I think it's imperative to have a police presence on the school. I think that you build those relationships, and I just think we're in a better position to, I guess, serve the community when we have an officer actually in school. So I guess with that, call it.
Kelly,
Yes.
Testori,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
Harden.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now, that was the motion to remove, so now we need a motion to approve.
Correct.
So I make a motion to approve Resolution 2016-15, approving an agreement with Blue Ridge School District pertaining to Student Resource Officer, April 20th, 2016 to June 5th, 2017.
I'll second it.
You can call it when you're ready.
Testori,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That finishes up unfinished business. We move on to Section 3, new business.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2016-17, parking regulations during Heritage Days.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
Gentlemen, there's been some discussion internally with Heritage Days coming up, and the anticipated large crowds because of the bands and everything. And one of the key issues is where's everybody going to park? And you know, when you talk and listen to the ladies, well, you just park wherever you can. The problem with that is we're afraid that roads are going to get blocked. The police chief has expressed that we need to have some enforcement should driveways get blocked, should the roads become too narrow, emergency vehicles cannot get down through there. So we came up with this, we sent it over to legal. Legal says that it pertains to everything that we need to do. And you'll see that what this does, we're not closing streets, we're limiting parking on one side of the roadway or another. It enables us to move a vehicle that's in violation. And if we did not have something like this in place, there would be two things. Either one, we could not relocate it, or we would pay for the tow bill. By having this and by having the signs, which will be posted, then the person who is in violation will have to pay for their tow bill. So we believe that this is something that's needed before Heritage Days comes about.
Yeah, I like that we're being proactive on this.
Yeah,
This looks like something we'll have to do every year then, as long as we have Heritage Days. I mean, I know
If you
since
have a major,
2016.
yes, this is specific for this event. So yeah.
Any discussion?
I think this is not going to limit access to the 200 block for the businesses there.
This has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with that.
No, sir.
Okay.
Tuesday, May 31st is when it'll begin. I see that, okay. When will the signs go up?
When will the signs go up?
Yeah.
I would assume that they will go up sometime late Monday, early Tuesday morning. They'll be dated, they're a special sign, and then you can add the wording onto the sign.
So it gives them a little over a week. All right.
It gives them over a week to know,
Yeah, that's,
advance warning, so to speak.
yeah, because they,
Well, there'll be a lot of people that aren't going to know about this, Mayor, until they come to town, you know. Generally speaking, I think your city citizens will probably walk uptown if the weather's nice, so this is anticipating all those people that we want to come to Farmer City, but we don't want them blocking our streets.
Most of your streets on number 2 are already marked, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
any other discussion? Call it.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Hahn,
Yes.
Hardin,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Testori,
Yes.
motion carries.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2016-18, Farm City Antiques Group.
I'll second it.
Discussion?
Each year, you know, they have the antique show up in the high school and in the gymnasium, and they always ask for a $500 donation. That $500 donation helps offset the cost of the advertisement, gives them the money to help run the show. So we do take this out of hotel motel tax.
What's the balance on the hotel motel? I'm looking in here, I don't know where to look, is the problem.
Give me just a second. 14,000, oh, the current balance? Oh, no, wait a minute.
What page is that?
We're not,
On the first page.
at the end of the year, there was a balance
Oh, there.
of 1,750 at the end of last year.
At the end, yeah, end of the fiscal year.
You see this, Scott? This is,
Yes, I see it now that you pointed it out.
And what's the balance now, you say?
today's current balance. You're gonna, if you take 500 off of that now, the balance here is 1,750.66.
The variance.
That is closing out last year,
When did we close out last year? That was
at the end of April.
April
the end
3rd.
of April. All right, so we're good on that. I got you. All right.
Call.
Hahn,
Yes.
Hardin,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Testori,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That moves us to section 4, other items, the city manager's report. Obviously, you were gone last week, so.
I've got a couple things here to bring up to speed on, gentlemen. Water main supplies are on site for the installation of Bluebell Honeysuckle, that 400-foot extension that we're going to do out there in the subdivision. Those supplies came in last Thursday, Friday. The guys will get on that just as soon as possible. The IEPA has sent us a letter that they have received our request for the construction permit for the Illinois Route 54 water main extension from George Rock going back to the east, if you remember correct. Now they've got 40 days to respond, so if anybody from out there in the subdivision asks you, we're still waiting on the EPA. We are going to go ahead and advertise that for bid. There's absolutely really no reason that the EPA will reject our request for the permit, so we're going to go ahead and get that advertised for bid. That'll speed up the process. The repairs, minor repairs at the swimming pool have been made. The water's in there, it's starting to filter, so keep an eye on it. You'll see that it'll start turning here soon. It's going to be cold if we don't get some sunshine, get a little bit of warmth there. Jill Moe, who has always been our pool manager, she's already had an interview with some of her prospective lifeguards, so that process is moving ahead. If you've seen the signs around town, we're going to start flushing fire hydrants this week. Calvin had originally anticipated doing it starting today, but that just didn't work out well, so hopefully tomorrow. If your lights went off yesterday, that was a burp in the inner time, had nothing to do with inside the city limits. There was some comments made out there on Facebook. Things happen for unknown reasons, guys, and every once in a while the power does go out in Farmer City. And the last thing is, one of the new owners of the grocery store came in today and introduced himself. They're planning on a change of ownership down there June 1st, so hopefully everything will go well there. So, that's what I've got.
The minor repairs on the pool was,
Every year, Mayor, there's like a little water leak here, a water leak there. They don't go back and blow the lines out with an air compressor or anything. They take everything loose. They disconnect the sinks. They disconnect the toilets and that. But you still have water in the lines, and so you get a minor leak here, minor leak there. If you remember that repair from last
that was
year,
my question.
That repair from last year, a crack did reappear, and they put some sealant on it, so it looks like that's going to hold. So
Is the new grocery store owner, is it private or is that something, is he
it's private
Backing.
ownership. Private ownership.
not franchise backing and all that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They came in and were asking just some general questions, so
Takeover's June 1st.
June 1st.
Any questions to the city manager's report? Any non-agenda items or other business? Entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Holland?
Harden,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Testori,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
motion carries.